So why would you turn your charge rate down instead of up? We're going to discuss that today. Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. So my name is Matt and this is Tech Forum. On this channel I discuss the ownership experience of a Tesla Model 3. In this case, my car is a bit of a unicorn. It is a long-range rear-wheel drive Model 3. This is an early car. It is VIN number 9,300 and something, and I've got over 109,000 miles on it. And in today's video, I wanted to discuss my experience when it comes to charging. Now, most people want their cars to charge as fast as possible. And I get it. I'm definitely that way in a lot of instances, especially when I'm traveling. I want to go to the supercharger and get the car to charge as fast as humanly possible so that I can get back on the road and continue my trip. However, from a day-to-day standpoint, I began to do a little bit of experimentation, and I found something that seems to work very, very well, at least for me in my circumstance. Now, this all started about I don't know, a couple of months back. I was doing some work in a storage room in my house in the back of our garage, and I was back at the circuit breaker panel there and looking for a breaker for another circuit in the house, when I noticed that the circuit breaker for the charge circuit for the car was hot. I mean, I didn't burn my hand on it or anything, but it was noticeably pretty hot. And so I looked into it, and I found that I have a 30 amp circuit feeding my car, and the charger was drawing about 33 or 34 amps off that 30 amp circuit continuously. Well, 34 amps off that circuit, and then when you figure some line losses, it was probably pulling 35 amps off that 30 amp breaker. And so I thought, well, you know, it's awfully hot. I should probably turn the charge rate down. So I went into the car's charging screen here. If you hit the battery icon, it comes up, and just to the left right here, you can see that you can change the charge current. So you can see here, you can turn the charge rate up, or you can turn the charge rate down. So whatever you feel like setting it for, you can set it for. Personally, I like to have mine down at about 25 amps. So just as a means of easing the load on the circuit breaker, I turned the charge current down to 25 amps. Well, I noticed a few things that happened when I did that. Right off the bat, obviously that circuit breaker was no longer running hot. It was just lukewarm. Went from being pretty hot to the touch to just being a little bit warmer than the other breakers. Very cool. Secondly, I noticed other things like the charge connector connected to the back of my car. It used to get pretty hot, and that is a lot cooler. The line from the charge handle to my garage is noticeably cooler. It used to be warm, now it's just like ambient temperature. I also noticed that the expected miles of range versus the percentage battery capacity has increased a little bit. Just a little, not a huge amount. And I thought, huh. But then I thought, you know, it's going to take longer to charge now. And because I went from 8 kilowatts of charging down to like 6 kilowatts of charging. And, but after a while, I thought, you know what? I get home from work at about anywhere from 4 to maybe 5:30, and I plug the car in. We have another EV. We have our Mini Cooper electric, and that car is typically charged. It's on the same circuit as this car, but they're charged at different times. I get up for work typically at about anywhere between 7 and maybe 8:30 in the morning. I leave. I unplug the Tesla, and I will normally plug the Mini Cooper in. It might need an hour or two to peak the charge for when my wife or my son are going to use it for the day. So we're sharing one circuit. We only charge the cars when they're separate from each other anyway. So I thought, you know, no, that circuit is not used at all between when I get home from work, roughly 5-ish, and I leave for work the next day, which is no sooner than 7 in the morning. So that's 14 hours. There's no reason for this car to charge any faster. And so backing off the charge current hasn't affected my life habits at all. It's easier on the charge port of the car. It's easier on the the connector for the charger. It's a little bit easier on the wiring. It's easier on the circuit breaker and the fuse box for sure. But also you reduce line losses. So, and what that means is as you draw high amperage through a wire, you heat up the wire, and you're losing energy to heat up that wire. So the car will actually charge more efficiently at a lower charge current. Beautiful Porsche coming. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Oh, that is gorgeous. Anyway, the lower the charge current, the easier it is on the charger in the car, all the wiring, the circuit breaker. It's actually even easier on the battery to a certain extent. But it just, everything runs cooler and more efficient. So there's less energy required to charge the battery. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. I know people do everything they can to increase their charge rate, and I get it. But with this car, being that it's got a 300+ mile range, even at 109,000 miles, I've still got 296 to 301 miles of range, depending on temperature and whatnot. So I've still got 300 miles of range in this car. That's enough range. I don't need to worry about it charging fast. Our Mini Cooper electric, that thing, it's rated at 110 miles. We actually get about 140 out of it. But that car hits a full charge in like 4.5 hours from 0 to 100%. That car charges relatively fast, and that's nice because it's a short range car. We're going to more frequently be plugging it in. With this car, you know what? The rate that it charges while parked at my house isn't that urgent. So my advice to you guys is, if you need it to charge fast, well then by all means, you're not hurting the car by charging it fast. But if you don't need that, it's just easiest on all the equipment to go ahead and let the car charge at a little bit slower of a rate. And again, it's easier on the equipment and it's more efficient to do. So that's my advice for today. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments section below. I'll be more than happy to answer whatever questions I can. If you've got a swiveling screen mount kit on order, we are currently running right at about the 3-week mark to ship new orders. My last video that I ran a sale on the screen mounts, the sale is still running, and I got way more orders than I was expecting, so we're backlogged. But you can go ahead, there'll be a link in the description below, an ordering link, as well as the discount code if you want to order a screen mount kit. But those of you that are waiting for them, like I said, we're shipping right at about the 3-week mark. 2 times a week, I ship a large batch of screen mounts, and then the in-between days, I'm setting all those up for shipment. So anyway, that's it for me. If you have any questions, let me know. And as always, stay charged. Thanks, guys. I appreciate all of you. I really do. Bye-bye now.